Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle that I am slightly concerned about. It's called Thermonuclear Reaction. It's by Eric Rathbun, and I found this on Logic Masters Germany just before I turned on the webcam, and it appears to have hardly been solved at all. And indeed, the reason I'm trying this is that one of our testers had a really good go at it and couldn't get anywhere with it. So they've asked if I might have a look at it. Eric's puzzles are very good as a rule, so I'm sure it is a very clever puzzle. And it's a very simple rule set, so there's no excuses for me today. But anyway, I'll have a look at this in a moment or two's time. It's basically thermometers, kilogauges, and black dots. And don't worry if you don't know what those things are. I will explain all in a moment or two's time. Now, I should start with other apologies today. There is a combine harvester in the nearby field. It's not Maverick. I don't think it's Maverick. It could be Maverick, I suppose. It's doing things, and the noises are unusual and loud. So I hope it won't disturb the video too much. Yesterday, by the way, I had a whale of a time. Chainbear, the Formula 1 YouTuber, joined me and we solved a puzzle together, and it was an absolute blast. I really have. I'm really enjoying doing these solves, either with viewers who win our monthly competitions, or with Bismuth the other day, and now Chainbear yesterday. I hope that will become a video shortly. I've sent the draft over to Chainbear for approval. I think it will be forthcoming, because we just had a very good time. So I hope you'll get to see that on the channel in the next few days. Actually, what I haven't done though is we haven't drawn the winner for the February competition, so we will do that forthwith. The competition is now closed. Solution videos should be up. I know Mark was doing that this morning, so if you did get stuck on any of the puzzles, over on Patreon now, there should be a whole wealth of Sudoku, of solution videos that will help you through this month's reward. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is some birthdays that I've got to do today. Let's start by wishing Antonia B a very happy birthday. And I know it's your birthday because your boyfriend Johnny wrote to us and said that he thinks this will be a good surprise for you. My wishing you a happy birthday. I hope that's true. And Antonia, I hope you have a great birthday today, with, of course, a large slice of heavily iced chocolate cake. And then we'll go to the Netherlands and a place called Heerenveen. I'm probably saying that incorrectly, and I apologise if so, but Job, or is that going to be Job? It might be Job, actually. I used to have a German friend called Jobst, and that was spelt with a J. So I'm going to go for Job. Job, I think you've turned 20 today, and your good friend Neek wrote to us to say that you might appreciate a shout out. The two of you study biology together, and many happy returns today. I hope you have a great day, with cake, of course. Next, Jimmy. You've turned 21 today, and I know this because your sister Lucy wrote in. And I think Jimmy's away studying at Swansea University at the moment, and the two of you watch the channel together when Jimmy goes back home. Jimmy, your sister told me that you're donating bone marrow in a few weeks' time. I know that she and obviously the rest of your family wish you well with that, as do I. I think it's an incredible thing you're doing. I really do. I used to have a friend at work in the days when I worked in banking, and his son was born and needed bone marrow, and it was the most incredible thing. It's a life-saving thing. So Jimmy, incredible thing to do. All credit to you, and I hope you have a great birthday today. And then finally, Paul, it's your birthday, and I know this because your husband Michael wrote to us and said you watch all the time, and you like it when I play the intro. Oh gosh, I haven't got any plans to play an intro today. Paul, happy birthday. I can hear Maverick's just taken up. I will play you a quick ditty. Name that tune. Well, name that tune, but I'll do it backwards. I'll play something from the end of one of my favourite pieces of music of all time. Hopefully, I will play this. Happy birthday, I think. No one will get that. If anyone does, very well done. Yeah, that's all the news. Let's have a look at Thermonuclear reaction by Eric Rathbun, and I will read you the rules of the puzzle. They are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits cannot repeat within a cage. Now, I think we've only got 4 cages today, and it looks to me like they're all 9 cells large. So it's almost like we've got 4 extra regions of the Sudoku. If you think about the boxes as a region of the Sudoku, obviously in the box we've got to put the digits 1 to 9. Well, that's also in this puzzle going to be true of those little regions, isn't it? Grey lines are thermometers, which increase from the bulb ends. So if this square's a 1, this square has to be higher than 1. But it doesn't have to be 2. You can skip out digits as you move along thermos. You just have to make sure that as you move away from the bulb, you keep getting higher and higher. And then black dots, or cells separated by a black dot, have values in a 1 to 2 ratio. And not all dots are given. So let's look at this square. If this was a 2, that's either going to be 4, because 4 is double 2, or it's going to be 1, because 2 is double 1. Always make sure that one of the cells on a black dot is double or half the other digit on the black dot, and you'll be good to go. And the thing about not all dots being given means if this was 2 and 4, that's absolutely fine in this puzzle. You don't have to have a black dot between 2 digits that have a 1 to 2 ratio. You just know in some very specific places there is a black dot relationship. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So, it looks to me at first blush like this is to do with it's something to do with connecting these thermos together, isn't it? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, okay. I was wondering whether there was going to be a way of sort of linking the thermos together. Yeah, yes, there is. Okay, so look at this square here. That's interesting. Because, let's give that a colour quickly. The colour of this cell, not the colour, the value of this square, where does it go in this box? And the answer is we don't know. But we do know because it can't go in its own, obviously it can't go in its own 3x3 box, and it can't go in its own row. It's in one of those 2 positions. And that means that this digit cannot be that high, can it? It can't be 8, for example, because it's then going to go on one of these thermobulbs, and those thermobulbs, by the time you get to the digit in the tip of those thermobulbs, are going to be at least 10, and 10 is not a Sudoku digit. So the maximum size of this digit is 7, 6, 5, 4. So this digit is not higher than 4. Now, if it went there, well, so, okay, maybe the game is not to create loops then. Because imagine this square went there, then that cell couldn't go there. Yeah, hang on. So this one, this also has to live in this region, doesn't it? So it's in one of 2 places. So if this one goes there, then obviously we'd have a paradox if this one went there. Because imagine this is 1. Say this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we said, okay, well that 4 in this top box goes here. Well, now this definitely can't be 1, can it? Because that thermo would be definitely backwards. So if this green cell goes here, this purple cell goes here. On the second cell, oh! So hang on. So this one? Yeah, okay, this is not... Right, so what I said before was that this could be 7 and that could be 4. And that's true. But this can't be as low as 1. Which is obvious actually. Yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking backwards. But if this was 1 in this box, the purple digit would have to be at the tip of a 3-cell long thermometer. Well, that clearly doesn't work. Or in the second cell of this thermometer. And again, that's not possible because I can't write 0 in here. In fact, you know, here's something interesting. That is not 2 either. Because if that's 2, which one of these are we going to make 2? You can't put 2 there because we'll go 1, 0. Whoops. Can't do that. But you obviously can't put 2, well, not obviously, but I've just seen you can't put 2 here because of this little black dot. Because once you make this 1, which is fine, the only digit that's in a black dot relationship with 1 is 2, and now I've got 2 2s. In fact, I've got so many 2s it's untrue, but the 2s I saw were 2 2s in that cage, which is a peculiar way of thinking. I didn't notice that you'd have 2 2s in the box, one on top of the other as well. I just saw you'd have 2 2s in the cage. My brain is a strange thing. But, okay, so now we worked out this digit was no bigger than 7. I now don't think this is 1 or 2, so 7, 6, 5. Right, so this could be 3, but we might be able to do better than that. Let's just keep thinking. So if this is 3, and if it goes there, then that goes 2, 1, and then that would go there. Oh, right, okay. So maybe actually it's more interesting to think about what happens if this goes there. I hadn't seen this. But if that digit goes there, what's this digit? And this has an unusual quality. It's the second cell on quite a large thermo, but it's also black dotted. Now, black dot digits are weird because in Sudoku, 6 of the digits only can actually appear on the black dot at all. The digits 5, 7 and 9 simply can't go on them. And that's because, let's think about that. If that was, I mean, it couldn't be 5 in this instance, but if this is 5, this is either 10 or 2.5. If this is 7, this is either 14 or 3.5. And if this is 9, it's either 4.5 or 18, and none of those work. So at the top end of the digits, black dot digits are, they're rare. They are pearls in the oyster, aren't they? So if this is 6 or 7, the only thing this could be is 8. It can't be 7, it can't be 9. So that would be 8 and that would be 4. Let me just mull that over for a moment. Don't think there's a problem with that. That would be 9, obviously. 9 in this box would then... 9 wouldn't repeat in the cage, so 9 would be in one of those 4 cells. Yeah, there's a sort of geometric thing, isn't there? Like, look at those digits there. And this is going to be the same for all of these boxes. those 4 digits, because they have to appear in the cage they're adjacent to, but they can't be in the 5 digits in the same box as themselves. So they're always going to go in those squares, aren't they? And that pattern exists throughout this grid. In all, so that sort of T-Tetris shape, if you like, that Tetris shape gets split up and allocated into those squares. This Tetris shape goes into those squares. Right, hang on. And we were thinking about whether this could go here. And why was I thinking about that? It's because I was mulling over. Oh yes, I know why. I was thinking about that going here. But if that goes there, on the other hand, then this digit is quite low. It's got to be lower than 3 or 4, so it would be 1, 2, or 3 on a black dot. But that actually has quite a lot of latitude. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to get rid of that, because that's not forced by anything logical that we've done. And in fact, it would be helpful though. You get 8 here, 4 here. No, I was about to get excited about this digit and where it went in this cage, but it's not exciting at all. It's got loads of... It can't go in those 6, but it could go in these 3, I think, and would have to be in one of those 3. Oh, wait a second. Oh, right. Here is an interesting thought. No jokes, please, about me at parties. They've all been made before. They've all been made before. Mostly in my earshot. This digit in row 2 is interesting, isn't it? Well, no, because it might be that one. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, but let's imagine it wasn't. That digit, where does it go in row 2 is quite interesting. Because it either is in this square, or it's on that black dot. Which, if that goes over there, would be a great number. I might have to think about this again, because I'm just thinking that blue cell, if it's not that cell, then where does it go in row 2? It's not there in its own box. It can't repeat in its own cage, so it's not in any of those. And so if this one did go here, this digit has to be in there. Which means this digit, because this would be a 4-8 pair, well, in fact we know the order, it would be 8, 8, 4, 9, wouldn't it? This would be a 4, actually, because it couldn't be 8, because it's a 3-cell thermo. So that would be 5, 6, 7, that would be 7. This is probably correct, I think, because it feels like it's sort of unravelling everything. 4 would be in one of those squares by Sudoku. 6. 4. So 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 7 goes here. That would be a 6, and that would be in one of those 2 squares. That would be a 7. That's I can't quite see it. Okay, I can see it. I can disprove this, but it's horrific. It's horrifically complicated. Okay, that's nonsensical. I don't like that at all. Yeah, I mean, I think it's too much. I think it's too much. So what I've noticed is, I think this cell is broken in this paradigm, but it's very difficult to see why. But in simple terms, what is this digit? And the answer is a number higher than 4 that's not 9, because if it was 9, obviously this cell would have no value. So in theory, it's 5, 6, 7, or 8, but we can see it's not 8 because we've put 8 over here. Now, in the world where but because blue has to be in one of those, we know blue's 4. So in this world where we're allocating green to this position here, we can now see this thermo. I mean, this is how I've broken this. So I'm just going to show you. It is visualizable, but it's not. I don't think, at least, it's going to be how we're meant to solve the puzzle. So I'm not going to use it, but I'm just going to show you. So you can see now this digit is also not 7. But remember what I said about the T's here. Where do the T digits go? And the answer for where the T digits go, oh, actually I might have missed a point as well. This might not more than, well, the T digits here, we know go into these 4 squares, don't we? But we know this is 7. So this 6 is going into one of those squares. So this now, in theory, has to be 5. But what I was going to say, which might be wrong, is... No, it is right. It is right. It's just even more complicated than I realised. The purple digit now couldn't go here because this thermo starts with a 4. So this digit is purple, and the 5 can't go at the end of a thermo that begins with 4 when there's meant to be a digit in between. So the 5 goes in one of those squares by our T logic, and that digit has no possible fill. I'd seen all of that, except I'd missed this possibility for where I'd missed the 5 going here, but then I can see that it can't go there anyway. So this is wrong. It's wrong, but it's bobbins, because that is not... I mean, the thing about Eric's puzzles are that they're not mad, and that is absolutely mad. So I'm not prepared to use that, I'm afraid. There will be some way of maybe not proving that, maybe proving that, but in a way that's elegant, not that's mad. So let's think harder. Now, it's very difficult though, when you've found something. Now my brain wants to go, okay, so I've now basically proved that that digit goes there, and I want to think about the consequences of that. That means this is a high digit, so it would push purple. I mean, it would have consequences. It would have meaningful consequences. So, you know, yeah, but it's not reasonable. It's not reasonable. No, it's probably going to be something like the equivalent of these digits. Let's have a look at these winged digits in the other boxes. So this square, for example, no, because that's got to be in that. Oh no, and that digit could be there. Ah, yeah, okay. This was a bit of a special case, wasn't it? Because once we allocated this here, we could look at this one and know it had to be there in the row. So maybe this one, if we allocate that one. If we allocate that there, this would be a low digit. That would force this over here. And that That clearly doesn't work. Ah, okay, no, I'm happy with that logic, actually. Yeah, I think I am happy with that logic. Okay, so I think it is fair for me to say this digit goes here. And that's not using a great big bifurcation. That's using some fairly sensible sound logic, because that digit, if it went here, let's analyze this. If it went here, this is a 3 or a 4, isn't it? And this digit is very low, therefore it's 1 or 2. We don't know what it is, but it's 1 or 2. It's clearly not green. Green now has to go here. This has to be an 8 and a 4, but that digit needs to be on here and can't be. And that's clearly wrong. That doesn't require any visualization beyond the colouring we've already put in. So I think it's fair for me to say that is not purple, that is purple, this is 3 or 4, this is 1, 2 or 3, this on the black dot is 1, 2, 4, 6, yeah, it can't be 3, and it can't be, this can't be 3 because this can't be 6, and this can't be 8 because this can't be 4, but that hasn't actually limited this greatly, has it? Oh, purple is now in one of those 3. Can that be purple? If that's purple, oh no, it could, well, if purple was 4, it could be. Because if purple's 4, but because if purple is in this specific position, we know green is here, and we know this is a 4-8 pair. So we know this has to be a 4 or an 8, and in fact a 4, but it could be if purple was 4. This is very, very... It's super interesting, isn't it? But it's not... Everything I've found has been difficult. What is going on? If we don't, yeah, blue could, I think I'm going to have to put blue there as well, because at the moment my brain is going down the rabbit hole of assuming this digit is there, and that might not be the case. If this is blue, that could be, these two could be blue, so blue could be here in row 2. If this is 6 or 7, this would be 8 or 9. That almost looks quite plausible, doesn't it? This is, I mean, there's no pressure on the end of this thermo. I mean, I have to say also, the black dot pairs we've been given, other than these two where I can see there could be some logic, they don't look very propitious to me. It looks much more like a set puzzle, frankly, you know, with the sort of Fistomaphelian 2x2s in the corners. But that is, I think, sorry, and just a very quick segue. Fistomaphel is the theorem or proof that these 16 cells in the corner of the grid are the exact same digits as those yellow 16 cells around the central box. But no, that's clearly absolutely irrelevant here. So saying that will now prove to be the break-in, but it can't be. I mean, those digits are so, they're not under pressure, and these corner digits, if anything, they're too unspecified. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, hang on. Oh dear. I have just missed something here, haven't I? Bobbins McBobbins face, I think is the correct is the correct euphemism. Oh dear. Right. Actually, I'm not sure what I've seen is going to do anything. Oh no, it is. Well, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it does anything, but I have noticed something. There is a set thing going on. It's just nothing to do with Fistamafel. What do I mean by a set thing going on? Look at these 4 rows. Let's make those orange just for a moment. I haven't done set on the channel for ages. I'm going to use that as an excuse. That's why I didn't spot this at all. Right, now, the first thing I want to say is that these orange cells that we've just highlighted, 4 complete rows of the puzzle, we know in total exactly what digits these 36 cells contain, don't we? We don't know how the digits are disposed. I don't know whether that's a 1 or this is a 1. I don't know things like that. But I do know, because it's 4 complete rows of the puzzle, that the digits in orange are 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, etc., all the way through to 4 9s. That is definitely true. Now, what about if I do these 4 columns? That's going to have to pick a good colour to do this in. Maybe, oh, that's horrific, but I'll do it in black just because it's very distinct. So that there, I've just highlighted 4 complete columns of the puzzle in black. Now, obviously, we also can specify in total what the black digits contain, can't we? That's 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9, just as orange was 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So we can now state that the total composition, if you like, of the orange set and the total composition of the black set is the same set of digits. We have no clue about the order of the digits, we just know they're the same thing. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. If I was to take that cell out of orange and black, could we say anything useful about the world? So let's take that out of orange and out of black. And the point is now to realise is because orange and black were the same thing before we took anything out of them, and I've taken the same thing out of both sets. I don't have to know what that is, I'm simply taking that cell out of orange and out of black. Then, although I now can't say, oh, orange has got, 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 3 4s, and then 4 of everything else, because I don't know what this digit is. But I can say that orange and black are still equal, can't I? Because I've taken this, they were the same thing, and I took the same thing out of both. Now I can do that for all 4 corners. I'm just taking the same thing out of both sets, and now look what we've got. We know that the orange set, what's left in orange, is the same as what's left in black. But there's rather a nice point here, isn't there? Because I know that those 9 cells there are a set of the digits 1 to 9. So if I was to remove these from the orange set, and I was to remove a equivalent set from the black set, because I know that those digits there I've just highlighted in the black set are also a set of the digits 1 to 9, then orange and black are still the same, aren't they? So I'll do that. But I can do the same here. I've still got 1 set left here in black, and I've got 1 set here left in orange, so I'll take those out as well. And now, all of that results in something really rather pretty, which is left over in black. I have got 2 cells, which I know are the same 2 digits. I don't know what the digits are yet, but they're the same 2 digits as I've got left in orange. So those 2 are the same as these 2. But, well, where am I putting this digit in the orange set? Because of the Thermo, I've got a horrible feeling this puzzle, if I'd seen this straight away, this puzzle would have had a very different A very different solve path. But that digit has to appear in orange, so it goes there, doesn't it? That what we've now deduced is that that is orange. And we know that this orange has to appear in the black set, so that's got to be there. So this digit is whatever colour that was originally, which was green, wasn't it? So this digit is green. That digit, let's get rid of all the blacks and oranges now. Now, has that done anything? The rather worrying thing is it might not have done. Oh, it's done one thing. Oh, I'm actually going to get things from this. This is lovely. I'm just trying to think if I get anything else. I haven't seen anything else I'm getting from it. Okay. All right, but what we need to do now is look at this square and ask where this square goes in its box. Now, we know that in theory it's in one of those squares, but we know it can't be here. In fact, oh no, I have made a total horlicks of this. I'm so sorry. Right. Imagine I'd done none of the work we did earlier. None of it. It's beautiful. I didn't need to look at this at all. Because once you know that this digit, there's many things we know now. Many things. Firstly, this digit is plonked in one of those squares. These are both 4-cell thermos. So what's this digit? Point number 1, it was always 4, whichever one of those it went in. Now that means, of course, that one of these is 4, one of these is 3, one of these is 2, and one of these is 1. Now let's just imagine we knew nothing about this left-hand thermo at all, so we hadn't got any of this shading in. Is it possible that this thermo starts 1, 2? No, because of the black dot here. This would be a 2 and we'd have 2 2s in this cage. That was never possible. So in fact this thermo cannot have the purple on it. That's got to be the purple. That is a 4. This thermo goes 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Because purple is 4, that's 4, which means this thermo goes 5, 6, 7. Oh no! This is 4. Okay, that's not 4 anymore. Oh no, look, there's more stuff coming out. 1 is coming out of here. This is an incredibly good puzzle. This can't be 2 now, because what's this? It can't be 1 or 4. This is 3 and 6. Oh, it's incredibly clever. That's 7, because we know that... Oh, look, here's another thing. Because one of these is 7, let me just show you this. One of these is 8 and one of these is 9. So there's some sort of trickery going on, isn't there? So what I'm seeing that means is because 8 has to appear in this top box, but cannot appear in row 2 anymore because one of these is an 8. 8 definitely can't be in the bulb of a 3-length thermo, so 8's in one of those. Yeah, this digit has to appear in this cage, so it's got... Oh, that's it. Now we've done it. because this digit is either there or there by all the logic we've done earlier. Well, it's now not the 2, is it? So it goes there, and now this thermo can't be the one that goes 7, 8, 9. So this thermo is the one that goes 7, 8, 9. That's not green. Yeah, and that's what I proved earlier. Do you remember that was what I proved earlier by the really convoluted method, revolving around this digit not being able to be 5, 6, 7 or 8 if that one went there? Well, now we've proved that not only simply, but in the most elegant way. It's so beautiful the way this is set up. It really is. Now, that's not going to be helpful, actually. I feel like I've put a lot of... No, I think that's probably not what I have done. Where is... Is it going to be Sudoku now? I've got to focus on these digits. Right, we can get rid of the blue. The blue is irrelevant because that's not how things turned out. This digit did end up here. Let's make sure that's green so we can keep track of it. So green is down in one of those two cells. Green is in one of those two cells. Green, oh, green is in one of those two cells in the middle box. Well, green cannot go on a black dot. We've already thought about that. So green is in one of those three. It can't go on the black dot. So green is in those squares in box 8. So it doesn't repeat in its own cage. So that's a 7. Let's make sure these are green. Now, can we do any more? So, I'm not sure how much more we can do there. This digit is bigger than 4, but not 6 or 8, so it's 5 or 7. And this digit is actually 6, 8 or 9, I think. I think that's got a lot of options. Okay, so okay, I'm going to use my T trick then. Do you remember the T trick that we came up with a while ago? We said those cells have to be in these cells. So that 5 has to be in one of those in the cage that it's next to. So it effectively, therefore, it's looking at that square, and that can't be 5, so that's 7. So this can't be 6. That's 7 places, that's 7. And are we... Yeah, so now all your 7s belong to us. We have done all the 7s in the puzzle. What do we need in... We've got a lot of digits in this thing. Where's 8? Where's 8 in this cage here? It's not appeared yet, and I've got an 8 there. It goes there. Whoa, that was clever. So it's got to go here. So these squares are 1, 2, and 5 by Sudoku, I think. And that's not 5. And this column has not had 9 or 3 in it. Oh, so the 9, yes, sorry, the 9 must go here. So that's an 8. This is a 3. No 3's in the corner in the top row. In fact, no 3's in the corner in the puzzle, I'm afraid. Oh! No, I think what I just did is... It cannot be right, can it? Yeah, I don't think it is right. I thought I'd just seen 3 as being on this... No, that's right. It is right. It's obviously right. This I saw this 3 and thought it put a 3 on the black dot, and then thought about Sudoku and realised it didn't. But it does. In fact, there's a 3 here. That's probably an easy way of seeing it. But you can see it from here. The 3 in this cage must be on the black dot. So that must be a 3-6 pair. Which means these digits are 1, 2, 5, 9. I'm just going to quickly pencil out that in case there's anything to be learnt from it. This digit's not 9 or 5 actually. So that's 1 or 2. That digit is not under pressure. That digit's not under pressure. That digit can't be 2. But in this row, we've not put in 6 or 8, have we? So 8 has to go here. 6 has to go here. 6 is in one... Oh, 6 is placed in box 1. It has to be there. So 6... Oh, 6 can't go on the thermo that leads up to a 7. So this white dot is not 3, 6 anymore. It's not 4, 8. So it's got 2 on it. It's either 1, 2 or 2, 4. So this is a 2. I'm just going to check that because that's obviously quite a big deduction. It's definitely not got 6 or 8. So it's involving the digits 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be 3, 6. So it's involving 1, 2. Yeah, it's got 2 on it. And the 2 has to be there. So that's definitely a 1. And that makes that a 4 because it can't be a 2, 1 pair anymore. And we know now 1 has to be here, don't we, by our logic around the T's, forcing themselves into those squares. So 1 is placed, look, in box 1, 2, 5, and 4. Oh, what about these squares? Are they a 2, 5 pair? I think so. That's probably resolved. This square is now 4. So 4 is in one of those 2 squares in box 2. And we can now... Okay, what's this black dot? Because it's not 1, 2, it's not 2, 4, and it's not 4, 8. So that is 3, 6, and we know the order. 6, 3. I think Eric must have been so thrilled when he came up with this construction, because it's very beautiful. And actually before I spotted the set, I was not in a good place, was I? It was not clear what was going on. So 6 now in this box is either there where it can't be or here. So 6 must be there, I think. How many 6s have we done? The answer is several. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, we're going to get left with this X-wing of 6s. We can't quite finish that yet. We need 1 in the bottom box. It's got to go there. Now 9 in this bottom box has to be here. Now that is in the cage, so we can get rid of those. We haven't put 5 into this box. We better do that now. So that becomes 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5. Oh, this is beautiful. Now what do we need here? 2, 9? Yes, but the order doesn't seem to be revealed. Okay, 1 comes out of these, so we know what these squares are. 1, 8, 9. And we can't put 9 on a black dot, so this is 2 or 4. There's almost certainly more we can do. We can do those squares. 3 and 9. Well, we can't. We don't know what they are, but they are 3 and 9. So what do we need now? In this cage, we need 4, 5, 8 into those squares. I'm just going to pencil mark that, and then we can have a look at it closely. So that can't be 4. That can't be 5. Oh, don't tell me. Well, the upshot of all that is that that's 9 in the column, so we might as well take advantage of small mercies. So this digit, oh, where's 8 in box 3? It's got to be here. 8, 4, 5. 5 here by Sudoku. So 5 has to join its friends here, doesn't it? This is now 1, 5 pair using our Tetris logic. These squares are a 2, 8. Yeah, 8, 2. We can do it. 8, 2. 2, 9. 4 now, so that's 8. Gosh, I thought for a moment it wasn't going to work, but that does work. 1 is here in this column because of this one sort of X-wing pattern. You can't put 1s here and you can't put 1s here. Oh, the 9 is doing things. Sorry if that's been available for a while. I only just saw it. 2 and 6 into this row. Don't know if that's resolved. I can definitely do that digit though. In theory at least. That is a 9. That's quite a useful 9 if that's right. Because that's 9, that's 9, that's 1, that's 5. And these squares are 3, 5, 8. No. Oh, I've not put 5 in the middle box, so I've made an error. Ah, this 2, 6 looks wrong. When did I put that in? Just now, thank goodness. So that looks like it's 5, 6. Okay. That doesn't change what this is, so that's still 9, that's still 9, 1, 5. Now, 2, 3, 8. That does look better. At least there's no repeats. 2, 3, 8. That's not 8. Maverick's about to fly over again. 5 here. Simon, why can't you see what's sitting in front of your eyes? A mystery. So in this column I've not put 2 and 8, but I don't seem to be able to resolve that. Hopefully something will resolve it. 5 here is useful. 5, 2. What about this row then? 3, 9? Yeah, so 9's got to be on that side. 9, 3, 8, 2, 3. 8 at the top. 4 here, and if we haven't made a ricket, that digit is a 2. That is a splendidly clever puzzle. Let me just stare at it for a moment. I'm just going to make sure the thermos look correct. Felt correct, didn't it? I mean, and once we had the idea about the set, it certainly wasn't trivial, but it was gorgeous. I'd love to know if I'd seen that quickly, how quickly I could have done that puzzle. How much of the logic that we built up at the start was that the T idea was good. That still helped me a bit in the latter stages. But I think if I knew that that and that were the same, and that were the same, yeah, I'd still have had to do a bit of thinking. Because I could only... I needed to know that this was 3 or 4 in order to prove that it was 4 here. Oh, but no. But given this, I don't know. I think there's going to be some quick times from the viewers today. I think. Anyway, let's see. Is it right? Yes. Whoa. Whoa. I didn't know this was this old, actually. I should have grokked that when I looked at Logic Masters. But 10 people have solved it in a year. That is not very many. So maybe, okay. Well, that's really interesting. Because if you spot the set, I don't think that's difficult. But it clearly is quite difficult to spot the set. I get that. I mean, I just didn't think it was a set puzzle when I first started to look at it. I only started to think about set. I can't even remember why. Was it the 2x2 boxes in the corners? I started to think about Fistmafel at some point. And then realised you could just do something much simpler. Wow. It's a beautiful puzzle, Eric. That's a really, really interesting puzzle. And a fabulous use of set, because it's one of those puzzles that the moment it clicks, the whole thing has just this beautiful, well, it is a reaction. Whether it's thermonuclear or not, I will leave it. I will leave it to the viewers to judge, but loved it. Absolutely loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.